molar mass is 90.2 and we have to find the relative atomic mass of X. We just have to position the relative atomic mass of oxygen and hydrogen, which is 16 and 1 respectively. So you're going to have 90.2 equals to X plus 17. The 17 crosses over here. You have 90.2 minus 17. That gives us X. So X is going to be 73.2 grams. That is the relative atomic mass of X. Imagine you walking into the WAEC examination hall for your chemistry practical and you have an idea of exactly what to do. That means you are set up for success in that exam. Now I'm going to show you exactly what you have to do with your chemistry practical. I'm talking about the titration aspect, the calculations you are expected to do. All right, so you are expected to titrate using your acid, your base, and all of that, do the titration, but there is a particular outcome you're expected to have, and that is your average titre value. Now, once you have that average titre value, what is the next thing you are meant to do? For some of you in your schools, they are going to actually give you some range, a range of what your average titre value should look like. All right, now once you have been able to confirm that your average titre value is correct, what exactly are you expected to do? That is what we shall be looking at right now. So I'm going to be showing you what exactly to do, how to calculate the molar concentration of the acid, the molar concentration of the base, concentration in more mass, mass concentration of the acid and the base. They can ask you to calculate. All right, that's concentration in grams per dm cube. They can even ask you to calculate the molar mass. They can even ask you to calculate the purity, percentage purity of either the acid or the base. Come with me, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know. Take a look at this sample question. Now, this is just an example of the kind of question you can be expecting in the exam. A is containing 0.05 mole per dm cube H2SO4, that's the tetraoxosulfate 6 acid. B is a solution containing 1.4 grams per 250 cm cube XOH. The equation of the titration, you were given an equation. Then I told you you already have an idea, or you have gotten your average titre value, which is the volume of acid used. All right, so your average titre value, let's assume we're using 15.53 cm cube. Now you were asked to calculate the concentration of B in mole per dm cube, the molar mass of XOH, then the relative atomic mass of X. And you were given H to be 1, O to be 16, molar mass of S to be 32. What are you meant to do with the information on the box? The first thing you have to do is to inspect the equation and be sure that the equation is balanced. All right, so when you inspect this equation, hydrogen, how many hydrogen do we have on this side? On the reactant side, 2 hydrogen plus 2 hydrogen here, that is 4. And here we have 4 hydrogen. X is 2 here, then there are 2 moles of X here. Oxygen here is 4 plus 2, 6. Oxygen here is 4 plus these 2, that is 6. And of course, sulfur is 1, 1. So this equation is balanced. The next thing you want to do is to state out the parameters you were given in this question. A is containing this. So this value is the molar concentration of the acid, which is our Ca. And that is 0.05 mole per dm cube. Right. B is a solution containing 1.5 grams per 250 cm cube of this. What does this value represent, this parameter? This is the amount in grams of the base that is present in 250 cm cube of the solution. This is not the value for your CB. This is not exactly what you'll be using. So let's write out that part. So the interpretation of this is 1, that means So this is actually the mass concentration, all right? This will help us to get the mass concentration of the base. So for the base, 1.4 grams of B is present in 250 centimeter cube of B. 1.4 gram is present in 250 centimeter cube. Now, concentration, there are two types of concentration. There is molar concentration, which is the concentration in mole per dm cube. And then we also have the mass concentration, which is concentration in grams per dm cube. So with this value, you were given 1.4 grams in 250 cm cube. This will be used to calculate the mass concentration. So at the end of this calculation, we are going to have the concentration of B in gram per dm cube, which is the mass concentration. And how can we do that? Because that's the SI unit of that concentration is going to be gram per dm cube. So the first thing is to convert this cm cube to dm cube by dividing 250 by 1000. So that's going to be, so the volume is going to be 250 cm cube divided by 1000. That's going to be 0.25 dm cube. So that means 1.4 grams is present in is present in 0.25 dm cube. 1.4 grams is in 0.25 dm cube. So what is the mass concentration? Mass concentration is the amount in grams present in 1 dm cube of the solution. So I'm going to say x gram present in 1 dm cube. So we cross multiply. We're going to have x times 0.25 equals to 1.4 multiplied by 1. And then we divide both sides by 0.25. 0.25. By the time we divide it, the value of our x is going to give us the mass concentration of this of the base. All right, the mass concentration of the base. So this is 1.4 divided by 0.25. So 1.4 divided by 0.25 is going to give us you divide this, is going to give us 5.6 grams per dm cube. So the mass concentration of B will be 5.6 grams per dm cube. All right. So we have gotten the mass concentration of B. Now you put that on a side. Now the first question is asking us to calculate the concentration of B in mole per dm cube. That is the molar concentration. So we're going to use this value to find the molar concentration of B. So the formula we're going to use is going to be molar concentration equals to mass concentration, okay, all over molar mass. Molar concentration equals to mass concentration over molar mass. If you have not seen my video on stoichiometry, where I explained all the 5 simple short equations you can use to answer any question on stoichiometry, on mole concept, on acid-base titration, you can check the link to this video. I've dropped the link. You can check the comment section, or you can check the description to this video rather. I have dropped the link there. You can check it there. And before I continue, if you have not subscribed to this channel, what exactly are you waiting for? Go right now, hit the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel so that you can continue to have access to our all that we post on this channel, which are quite educational and exciting contents for your physics, for mathematics, for chemistry, for biology, making sciences very, very simple and interesting for you. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with your friends, and drop a comment as well. Thank you. Now let's continue. Since we have our CA, we have our VA, which is our average titre value. So what's our VA? So we have our CA to be 0.05 mole per dm cube. Our VA, which is the average title value, is 15.53 cm3. The CB is what they're asking us to find, molar concentration of base, and our VB, that's the volume of the pipette, that is 25 centimeter cube. Then from the balanced equation, the number of moles of acid is 1. So Na is 1 and Nb from this balanced equation is 2. So we are going to make use of the formula CAVA over CBVB equal Na over Nb. So it is this formula we're going to use to calculate our CB. So when CAVA over CBVB equals to Na over Nb, when we cross multiply, CAVANB equals CBVBNA. And because we are trying to look for CB, we divide both sides by VBNA. VBNA, which is the coefficient of CB. So this cancels this. So our CB is going to be CAVANB all over VBNA. So let's slot in the values to get our CB. So our CB is going to be, what is Ca? That's the concentration of our acid, 0.05. This is that. Multiplied by volume of acid is 15.53. Multiplied by Nb, number of mole of our base, which is going to be 2. Divided by, what is our VB? VB is 25 times, what is our Na? 1. Okay, divided by 1. So when you punch your calculator, your CB is going to be this multiplied by this by 2 divided by 25. It's going to be 0.0621 mole per dm cube. Now once that is done, we've been able to get the concentration, the molar concentration of B. So we have answered the first question, concentration of B mole per dm cube. Number 2 question says we should calculate the molar mass of XOH. Molar mass of XOH. How do we calculate the molar mass? We are going to make use of this equation that we have stated here initially, which is molar concentration equals mass concentration over molar mass. So to make molar mass the subject, we cross multiply and make it subject. So molar mass of SOH, molar mass is going to be mass concentration divided by molar concentration. So if you make this molar mass the subject formula, you multiply this to then you divide both sides by molar concentration. All right, so our molar mass is going to be, what's the mass concentration? It is 5.6 gram per dm cube divided by the molar concentration. What is the molar concentration of this base? This is what we've calculated here, 0.0621. So when you divide this, 5.6 divided by 0.0621, our answer is going to be 90.2 grams per mole. All right, so we've been able to answer the second question. Molar mass of XOH is 90.2 grams per mole. And the third equation, or the third question we're asked is the relative atomic mass of X. So how do we get the relative atomic mass of X? To get the relative atomic mass of X simply means now the relative or the molar mass of X is going to be X plus the molar mass of X plus that of O plus that of H. And the molar mass is 90.2. All right, the molar mass is 90.2 and we have to find the relative atomic mass of X. We just have to position the relative atomic mass of oxygen and hydrogen, which is 16 and 1 respectively. So you're going to have 90.2 equals to X plus 17. The 17 crosses over here. You have 90.2 minus 17. That gives us X. So X is going to be 73.2 grams. That is the relative atomic mass of X, 73.2. I believe you understood all we have discussed. If you have any question or have your comments, please go to the comment section and drop it there. And if you've gotten value from what we did right now, go to the comment section and type in value, value, value. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, do well to hit the subscribe button right now and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.